Subscribe our YouTube channel for more horror stories. In the quaint village of Rahimabad, nestled in the heart of dense woods, an ancient legend persisted through generations. It was said that every 50 years, the village would be visited by the echoing shadow. The elders spoke in hushed tones of how, on the first night of the full moon in May, the shadows of the villagers would begin to whisper secrets of the past, revealing hidden truths and dark desires. Saira, a young journalist from the city, arrived in Rahimabad just a week before the event was set to begin. Intrigued by the legend and hoping to write a compelling article, she was greeted by Ahmed, the village historian. Ahmed had spent his entire life in Rahimabad and knew every story, every secret. As they walked through the village, Ahmed shared tales of previous encounters with the echoing shadow. He spoke of families torn apart by whispered betrayals and friends driven mad by the haunting voices of their own shadows. "Many don't survive the week," Ahmed said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "The echoing shadow feeds on our darkest fears and regrets." The first night of the full moon arrived, and Saira, despite her skepticism, felt a chill in the air. She watched her shadow intently, half expecting it to spring to life. Hours passed in silence, but just as she began to relax, she heard it, a faint whisper, like the rustling of leaves. Her shadow moved independently, stretching and warping, its dark form flickering in the moonlight. It began to whisper her deepest insecurities, fears she had buried long ago, her failures, her guilt over her estranged family, and her dread of never finding her place in the world. The following days were a blur of sleepless nights and growing paranoia. Saira saw the villagers unraveling around her, each haunted by their own echoing shadow. She sought out Ahmed, desperate for answers. Together, they delved into the village archives, unearthing the story of a wronged woman, Amina, who had cursed the village centuries ago. Amina's spirit, filled with vengeance, had bound the villagers' shadows to her will, forcing them to relive their darkest moments. There was only one way to break the curse, a ritual that required confronting Amina's spirit in the ancient forest where she had been wronged. On the final night, Saira and Ahmed ventured into the forest. The air was thick with anticipation and dread. They found the clearing where Amina had been unjustly executed, her spirit lingering in the shadows. As they performed the ritual, Saira's shadow grew more aggressive, trying to stop her. She faced her deepest fears head-on, acknowledging her regrets and the pain she had caused. With Ahmed's guidance, they chanted the incantation, and Amina's spirit appeared, a ghostly figure of sorrow and rage. In a final act of sacrifice, Ahmed offered his life to appease Amina's spirit, allowing Saira to complete the ritual. The forest fell silent, and the oppressive weight lifted. The curse was broken, and the shadows returned to normal, no longer echoing the tormented past. Saira left Rahimabad, her heart heavy with the loss of Ahmed, but determined to honor his memory. She wrote a book about the village and the echoing shadow, a tale of fear, redemption, and the enduring power of facing one's darkest truths. The echoing shadow became a symbol of the importance of confronting and accepting one's past, a haunting reminder that some shadows, once faced, can finally be laid to rest.